Jack Perry appears for the first time since his backstage altercation with CM Punk at the AEW All-In show at Wembley Stadium at New Japan's Battle in the Valley event, whilst ripping up his AEW contract and wearing an armband that said Scapegoat. Plenty of details on that. Plus, speaking of debuts, Nic Nemeth has made his debut with TNA Wrestling at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, confronting the brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion Moose. Trinity loses the Knockouts World Championship at Hard to Kill and possibly says her goodbye to TNA Wrestling as she heads back to WWE. She was also watched by her close friends Bayley from the WWE and also Mercedes Moné. We'll let you know about that. Ricky Starks and Big Bill retain their AEW World Tag Team Championships against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara at the Battle of the Belts event. Mustafa Ali is on his way to New Japan Pro Wrestling. AJ Francis, Dana Brooke, the grizzled young veterans all make their TNA debuts last night at Hard to Kill. TNA also announces a working relationship with AAA. Crazy Steve is the brand new digital media champion in TNA, and CM Punk has been officially announced for the Elimination Chamber event in Perth, Australia. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Jack Perry making a shocking appearance last night at New Japan's Battle in the Valley event. Jack Perry is back, but not in All Elite Wrestling. During New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley pay-per-view event on Saturday, Shota Umino, Fred Rosser, and Jacob Fatu teamed up to defeat Team Filthy's Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson. But afterward, a masked man emerged from the crowd and attacked Umino. It was then revealed to be AEW's Jack Perry, who dropped him with a DDT onto the floor. From there, Perry pulled out an AEW contract and ripped it up in the ring to send a message. It's also worth noting that Perry was sporting a beard and a black armband that read, quote, Scapegoat, which appears to be his new nickname. It appears that this is all part of an angle, however, details are few and far between as of this recording. We get any more details, of course, we'll let you know. The former AEW World Tag Team Champion has not been seen since AEW All-In London at Wembley Stadium at the end of August last year. It was at that event where he lost to Hook on the pre-show before getting involved in an altercation with CM Punk backstage in the gorilla position. As a result of the incident, Perry was suspended indefinitely, while CM Punk was ultimately terminated with cause because AEW President Tony Khan said he feared for his life. Now, Perry's suspension reportedly ended some time ago, but he was waiting on a creative direction before returning to television. There was once speculation that Perry was the devil in AEW, and of course that ended up turning out to be Adam Cole. What are your thoughts on this angle? What are your thoughts on Jack Perry? Is this going to be a case where he's going to try and play off that he's no longer with AEW, he's only in New Japan Pro Wrestling? What are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts or reactions in the comments section below. Now, it was a big night last night for Impact Wrestling, now known once again as TNA Wrestling. We got a brand new world champion, and we also got a big debut at the Hard to Kill conclusion. TNA Hard to Kill went off the air in shocking fashion. TNA's return to pay-per-view saw Alex Shelley defend the TNA World Championship against Moose in a physical main event. The closing moment saw Shelley turn Moose inside out with a clothesline before rallying the crowd for one of the biggest reactions of the night. Moose then evaded Shell Shock not once but twice before hitting a spear out of nowhere to pin Shelley for the 1-2-3. As a result, Moose officially became a two-time TNA World Champion to kick off the new era, but his night was far from over. The System's Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and Alicia Edwards made their way out to the stage to celebrate. An unfamiliar theme song hit, and the words Nic Nemeth covered the Titantron. Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, was then shown in the ring standing behind Moose ready to attack. Nemeth ultimately laid out the new world champion before hightailing it into the crowd to celebrate his arrival. He also ripped off his shirt to reveal a TNA Wrestling t-shirt underneath, seemingly indicating that this is just the beginning of him in the company. The former Dolph Ziggler was released from WWE in September after nearly 20 years under contract. Once his free agency came about, Nemeth first appeared at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 18 event to confront the new IWGP Global Champion David Finlay. Nemeth and Finlay later brawled during the post-show press conference. Following his attack on Moose, TNA has since announced that Nemeth's first match will be taking place very, very soon. We can actually get it on the screen right here. You can see that Nemeth's first match will be taking place at the TNA Snake Eyes taping Wrestling at the Palm in Las Vegas, where he'll be facing off against Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. So what are your thoughts on Nic Nemeth signing seemingly, possibly with TNA Wrestling? It would appear that he was the major signing that TNA was hyping up. Do you think this lived up to the hype? What are your thoughts on Nemeth in TNA? And if he signed a full-time contract, is that a big get for TNA Wrestling? Or what do you expect this to look like? Let me know your thoughts about it. And let me know your thoughts on Moose becoming the brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion as well. Now, there's been so much going on when it comes to Trinity, the former Naomi, possibly leaving TNA Wrestling and heading back to WWE. TNA Wrestling's Trinity was understandably emotional after losing her Knockouts World Championship at Hard to Kill last night. In the penultimate match of the evening, Trinity lost the title to Jordynne Grace. Grace earned a shot at the gold by winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet at Bound for Glory in October last year. She was the first woman to win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Last night's victory marks Grace's third Knockout World Championship reign, after previously capturing the gold in January 2020 and at Slammiversary in June 2022. Trinity had held the Knockouts World Championship since Slammiversary last year when she dethroned Deonna Purrazzo. Understandably, the glow was emotional after her title loss, as can be seen on clips that have been shared online. As for what's next for Trinity, Trinity's Knockouts World Championship reign has ended and she's hungry to regain the gold. On Twitter, Trinity made it clear that she wants a rematch with Jordynne Grace. Trinity left Hard to Kill with the Knockouts World Championship, without the Knockouts World Championship, and could be leaving TNA Wrestling altogether soon enough. Trinity is expected to finish her TNA run at the promotion's next set of television tapings. She's also expected to make her return to WWE later this month as part of the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match. Trinity, then known as Naomi, walked out of WWE in May 2022 alongside Mercedes Moné, then known as Sasha Banks. The two had different ideas about creative plans at the time. The then Women's Tag Team Champions felt their title run was being overlooked, as WWE had plans for singles feuds for both women. So, seemingly, we could be seeing the swan song of Trinity in TNA. But in addition to that, what got a lot of people talking was some onlookers, particularly when it came to Trinity last night, and that is WWE superstar Bayley, but also the free agent Mercedes Moné, who's been a hot topic recently. At TNA Wrestling Hard to Kill in Las Vegas, a fan spotted some very famous faces in the crowd, Bayley and also Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. Now, spotted behind the French language announce team in box seats were Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, and Bayley, presumably there to cheer on their pal Naomi, also known as Trinity as well. Now, some are suggesting this could be an indication that maybe the trio are going to team up in WWE to face off against Damage Control, or most likely it's a case of they're just good friends. Mercedes Moné has watched Trinity at several TNA events in the past, but do you think this is an indication that all three could be in WWE very soon? Let me know your thoughts about that as well. Now let's talk about AEW, because the AEW World Tag Team Championships were on the line last night at the Battle of the Belts event, but we don't have new champions. The 9th Battle of the Belts took place in Norfolk, Virginia last night. In the opening match of the show, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara wrestled the AEW World Tag Team Champions Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Last week on Collision, Starks and Big Bill challenged Jericho and Guevara to a street fight for the Tag Team Championships, and the match was promptly signed. However, before last night's street fight tag title match, just a few nights ago on Dynamite, Starks and Guevara wrestled, with Guevara scoring the victory before a big brawl ensued between the four combatants last night. With that in mind, it was perhaps not a surprise that the action began in the parking lot area before cameras were even on the wrestlers. The wrestlers used trash cans, a brick, and other weapons, including a golf cart, while outside of the arena. Jericho and Guevara also suplexed Big Bill on a car. When they finally entered the backstage area of the arena, Starks used a plunger on Jericho, while Jericho responded a little later by using a traffic cone and a photocopier on his opponent. Later, Guevara used a fire extinguisher on his opponents to gain control. After nearly 15 minutes, the wrestlers finally made their way into the arena. Jericho set up a table that he intended to suplex Big Bill through, but instead was attacked by Konosuke Takeshita, who hit Jericho with a stick, allowing Big Bill the distraction he needed to powerbomb Jericho through the table. With both of them seemingly taken out of the match, Guevara jumped off the top of the entrance where the wrestlers usually enter the arena from. However, instead of landing on Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs moved Starks and Guevara crashed through the stage. From there, Starks pinned Guevara to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. What did you make of the match, and what did you make of, I guess, the reign of Starks and Big Bill continuing? Now, going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Mustafa Ali is on his way to the promotion. And New Japan Battle in the Valley, a video featuring former WWE superstar Mustafa Ali aired, where he announced that his campaign will be coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Ali went on to challenge former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi for April 12 in Chicago at New Japan's Windy City Riots. The match was later made official for the upcoming event at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. This is being billed as the biggest New Japan Strong event in the brand's history. Of course, Mustafa Ali was released from WWE on September 21st of last year as part of mass budget cuts made by the company following their merger with UFC to form TKO Group Holdings. On December 21st, Ali officially became a free agent and posted a promotional video hyping his upcoming dates up on the independent scene. Ali has already made 2 appearances, including for Game Changer Wrestling on their January 12th show in Chicago. So certainly, we're going to be seeing quite a few new stars in New Japan. This includes the likes of Nic Nemeth, Jack Perry, Mustafa Ali, and also Matt Riddle too. Now, going back to TNA Wrestling, there were quite a few debuts last night, one of which was former WWE superstar Top Dollar, now known as AJ Francis. AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar in WWE, made his TNA Wrestling debut during Saturday night's Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Francis and DJ Who Kid appeared on the pre-show. The duo came out to premiere a new music video for their single We Outside. The crowd booed him while it aired because he spoke about how he brought his own time on Hard to Kill to premiere the music video. He told the crowd to stand up and shut up, which didn't sit well with them. He was later interrupted by Joe Hendry, which the crowd loved. Hendry had his own video called The AJ Francis Story, which was about his career flops. Obviously, Francis wasn't happy with the video and chokeslammed Hendry. Francis was released from WWE in September of last year, only after returning to the company just a year prior in August of 2022. It was his second run in the company. His first run lasted from January 2020 to November 2021. Whilst he was in WWE, he was part of the Hit Row stable that included current AEW star Swerve Strickland. His last televised WWE match came on the August 11, 2023 episode of SmackDown, where he lost to LA Knight. But as I mentioned, there were several debuts last night at TNA Hard to Kill, one of which was former WWE superstar Dana Brooke. Now, this was quite interesting because appearing front row for the TNA Knockouts Championship match between Trinity and Jordynne Grace was former WWE superstar Dana Brooke. Now showing up with the name Ash by Elegance, she was shown wearing a fur coat over a glamorous rhinestone jumpsuit with a classic Marilyn Monroe vibe, also complete with perhaps a butler, perhaps a handler. There was a man standing beside her. Now, unlike Timeless Toni Storm from AEW, however, she did not receive any special black and white treatment to her appearance, so it seems Ash by Elegance is just channeling old Hollywood glamour, not actually trying to live it, I suppose. So, what do you think of Dana Brooke landing in TNA Wrestling, and what do you think of the name Ash by Elegance? Do you like it, or is it not for you? Is it a bit too close to the Toni Storm character, or do you not really care? Now, we also saw a tag team debut last night. This one was announced ahead of time, set for being a big TNA World Tag Team title match at TNA Wrestling's Hard to Kill. Champions ABC, that's Ace Austin and Chris Bay, looked to defend their titles against Laredo Kid and Mike Bayley. Originally, it was meant to be Trent Seven, but he had travel issues. The Rascals and a tag team making their TNA Wrestling debut. James Drake and Zach Gibson, the grizzled young veterans, made their TNA debut in a 4-team battle. The duo departed WWE after the dissolution of their on-screen faction. Also in the match, another NXT alum, Zachary Wentz, who joined with Trey Miguel in the match as well. In the end of a fantastic and fast-moving match, it would end up being the champions who would emerge victorious. ABC were able to win the match and retain their TNA tag team titles. What did you make of the grizzled young veterans, and would you like to see them in TNA Wrestling more often? Let me know your reaction to that. Now, we also got a big announcement when it comes to a partnership that TNA has forged with another pro wrestling promotion. Throughout the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, TNA Wrestling ushered in a new era in the company. Amongst the announcements and surprises for the evening, a newly signed partnership between TNA Wrestling and Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. With TNA Wrestling President Scott D'Amore noting that the X Division Championship match was set to showcase what can happen when promotions put politics aside and let the best wrestlers in the world compete against each other, a huge match was up next. Chris Sabin put the TNA X Division Championship on the line against Kushida and current AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo. And this promotional relationship was officially confirmed. So we could be seeing more AAA stars appear in TNA wrestling in the future. Now, we did see some title changes as mentioned last night, the first of which was the Digital Media Championship changing hands. In the Countdown to Hard to Kill pre-show, there was the first title change under the resurrected TNA Wrestling banner. Tommy Dreamer looked to defend his TNA Digital Media Championship against Crazy Steve. After a brutal and personal match, it would be Crazy Steve who picked up the win and became the first new champion of TNA Wrestling's new era. Crazy Steve has become the latest TNA Digital Media Champion. So as I mentioned, several titles did change hands, but the first of which was to Crazy Steve. Finally, some WWE news as well, some big news when it comes to CM Punk and his appearances this year. In an exclusive report from Fox Sports, it has been revealed that CM Punk will be wrestling at WWE Elimination Chamber. Not only will he be making an appearance, the report specifically notes that CM Punk will be wrestling at the event in Perth, Australia. The exact match itself is unknown as of now, but the report did list some possibilities. Those possibilities included facing Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship or participating in the titular Elimination Chamber match for the chance to challenge Rollins at WrestleMania. Of course, Elimination Chamber is set to be broadcast from Perth, Australia on Saturday, February 24 at Optus Stadium. Listed in the report as confirmed appearances for the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event included Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio, Grayson Waller, LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes as well. So CM Punk is going to be there. But there you go, guys. This latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.